La Llorona fades into the night, still searching under pale moonlight. Her wails will haunt you till you sleep, and in your dreams her sorrow creeps.
On the banks of a quiet river, where the moonlight casts eerie shadows, the air grows cold, and the sound of wailing fills the night. It's the mournful cry of a mother who lost her children. She is doomed to wander for eternity, searching for them. Beware the ghostly figure of La Llorona. La Llorona, the Weeping Woman, is one of the most famous legends in Latin America folklore. Her tragic story tells of a woman who drowned her children in a fit of rage and despair. Now she has been doomed to roam the earth, weeping and crying out loud for her lost children, eternally cursed. The story of La Llorona dates back hundreds of years, with roots in Aztec mythology and Spanish colonial influences. Her name and tale have varied across regions, but the core story remains the same. A mother who drowned her children in a river and is now condemned to wander, crying for them in the afterlife. In some versions, she drowned herself after realizing the gravity of her crime, but she was denied entry into the afterlife, leaving her to haunt the living world. La Llorona is often associated with water, rivers, lakes, or streams, and is said to snatch children who wander too close, mistaking them for her own. This tragic figure represents maternal grief and loss, but also serves as a cautionary tale. In modern pop culture, La Llorona has been featured in films, including The Curse of La Llorona, bringing her haunting story to a broader audience. Her story has been passed down for generations, told by parents to keep their children from wandering alone at night near bodies of water. La Llorona legend serves as a cultural touchstone, helping to preserve oral storytelling traditions. It also offers a reflection on the consequences of extreme emotions, particularly guilt, sorrow, and grief. Critics argue that La Llorona perpetuates fear-based control over children and can instill irrational fears about water and nighttime activities. Could La Llorona's story be a manifestation of societal pressures placed on mothers, especially when they're overwhelmed? What if the legend is an allegory for these emotional struggles rather than a literal ghost? The emotional depth of La Llorona's story, combined with its supernatural elements, keeps it alive today. Whether she's viewed as a cautionary figure or a representation of unresolved grief, guilt, and conflict, her presence in folklore serves as a reminder of the human condition, how guilt can consume and destroy. La Llorona's tale, steeping in tragedy, taps into a primal fear of loss and death in a world where stories are easily forgotten. Her enduring presence reminds us of the power of mythology and oral tradition. So sit back and look out into the wild. Look past the rivers, lakes, and streams. Look past the forests where she may lie, waiting, contemplating how to drag your children beneath the waves. La Llorona's cries echo through generations, a haunting reminder of the consequences of despair and vengeance. This legend isn't just a ghost story, it's a reflection of cultural fears, societal expectations, and the consequences of our actions. Her tragic tale transcends borders and resonates with anyone who has ever felt loss and their own suffering. Is she real, or is she a manifestation of our collective guilt? Either way, La Llorona's wail will chill your soul if you dare to listen.
And that's a wrap on this episode of Let Me Take You Higher, the podcast. Big thanks to our special guests, and a huge shout out to our incredible sponsors. You guys are literally the wind beneath our podcast wings. Remember, this show was dreamed up and brought to life by yours truly, Mr. Villain, and it's all made possible by BC Entertainment LLC, a proud subsidiary of Big Cheddar Music LLC. All rights are reserved by BC Entertainment, so don't even think about touching that dial without permission. Until next time, keep your minds elevated and your vibes higher. This is Mr. Villain signing off. Stay tuned, stay sharp, and stay forever gifted and lifted.
When life storms rage and skies grow dim, we gather the shards piece by piece within. Through tears and trials we find our might. Let me take you higher toward the light. Let me take you higher beyond the pain. Where broken dreams mend and hope remains. We'll rise from ashes like a phoenix bold. In the symphony of resilience, our stories unfold. When life storms rage and skies grow dim, we gather the shards piece by piece within. Through tears and trials we find our might. Let me take you higher toward the light. Let me take